Pakistani developers, are you tired of constantly switching jobs or working on boring websites and WordPress plugins? Do you want to leave a legacy, something that you are proud to contribute to? I have good news for you. Codecast Pakistan is sponsored by Shadow Labs, and Shadow Labs is currently hiring. Shadow Labs is an award-winning tech startup formed in 2010. Shadow Labs is on track to disrupt the global legal industry. The best part is that Shadow Labs has its roots in Pakistan. Shadow Labs is the next Pakistani success story. It's like joining Kareem before it was Kareem. Shadow Labs has strong development and operations teams based out of Pakistan, and we are currently looking for developers across Pakistan. So if you are an HTML developer, Laravel developer, or full stack developer, listen here. We are hiring across senior and mid-level roles. We also provide different hiring options, including full-time and flexible part-time roles. If you want to build something that you're proud of, this is the place for you. If you want to be part of Pakistan's next biggest tech company, this is the place for you. Click the link below and fill out the form. And join the legal technology revolution and contribute to Pakistan's next biggest tech startup. Leave your legacy. Welcome to Codecast Pakistan. My name is Umar. I'm your host. Codecast Pakistan is a podcast. We are on a mission to build a community in the Pakistani tech community. Our mission is based on the philosophy that community is what leads to collective growth. If we work together, we grow together. Our focus at Codecast is to bring diverse experiences and perspectives from the Pakistani tech industry. Today's guest has spent the last 4 years at one of the big tech companies in Pakistan. Basim Butt is a project coordinator, business analyst at United Soul. Basim joined United Soul in 2018. For those of you who don't know, United Soul is a web development company based out of Islamabad. With over 100 team members, United Soul has worked with major global brands, including building Hyundai's Saudi Arabia website and other startups and major companies around the world. Welcome to the podcast, Basim. How are you doing?
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast. Uh, I'm excited to be here today to share my experiences and expertise in this podcast session. So, thank you once again for introducing me to your audience. And you can start your questions right away. And inshallah, I hope that it will be a knowledgeful podcast for your listeners.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I think there should be some good insights for people in the tech industry and those looking to join maybe a company like United Soul or someone who's looking to gain some perspective from someone who has been in the industry for some time. So let's start at the beginning, right? So let's start at when you have a bachelor's and then in computer science, and then you obtained your master's at ComStats in project management. What led you to the decision to pursue computer science
So,
initially?
well, that there are not much, orientation and in-hand knowledge of students in Pakistan once they complete their high school, and most of them are not, able to select a particular degree for bachelor's program. So when I was completed my FSC, I myself explored different study areas and different universities for specific subjects, and I need to study whatever subjects. So, however, from my childhood, my family and friends used to call me, computer nerd. So I always like to explore about computer science and related technologies. So based on my interests, I decided to pursue my bachelor's degree in computer science from Arid University in 2014. So if like that's why I would suggest the new students to select their career based on their own interests in which they can perform, better because maybe you can complete your 4 years degree easily without any interest in any specific field, but I think that it is worthless as it will not going to help you, in making a good professional career or advancing in that field. So based on my experience, if I would advise, the young or new students to keep, I think they have to keep in mind a few basic points while selecting a degree. Like they have to consider the reputation of that academic institution, and consider the factors such as their research opportunities, quality of faculty, overall academic standing of that institution. So I think the students have to think about their long-term goals. Like consider your long-term goals and and how your chosen degree can achieve to help you to achieve those goals. So remember that choosing a degree is an important decision that can have a significant impact on your career and your future as well. So I think the students have to take their time to make their decision, seek out advice and support, and choose a program that aligns with their goals or passions. So, like if I'm from bachelor's, my bachelor's is in computer science. So if you are interested in developing software applications, mobile apps, websites, or such like technology, so a degree in computer science or software engineering is a good choice. And if you are interested in working with hardware or embedded systems, a degree in electrical engineering or mechanical engineering may be more appropriate. So ultimately, the choice of the degree depends on, I think, on your interests and career goals.
Very well said. So I guess that's the first decision most people face when they're deciding on their career. But then the next, as you're going through, let's say someone's going through their computer science program, and then they're deciding there's so many different way paths I can take um, uh, after this degree, right? So there's a lot of options. I noticed right out of school, you spent, or during school and then after school, you spent some time in quality assurance before moving to a different type of role. So tell me about that. So the quality assurance, how did you get into it, and how was your experience doing it?
Uh, Actually, I got my first job in United Solutions after 3 months of my graduation. So I had started my career as a Magento developer, and as a Magento developer, some of my core responsibilities, including developing some customization of Magento to extensions, plugins, or modules. And in parallel, I had gained some experience in server management or technical management side as well. And in addition, I also worked on few areas of digital marketing like SEO, PPC, content, and email marketing. So after that, I decided to move out on the management side. So I started my master's from Comsat in project management from Comsat University, and at that time, I was doing quality assurance of different projects in my company, like e-commerce projects, websites, and other mobile applications. So I started my career, as a Magento developer, and then shifted to some technical side, and then from marketing guy to quality assurance, and then and later on I moved on, to the management side.
Interesting. So um, I guess two questions. First question is, so why did you decide to pursue your master's degree first? And then we can talk a little bit more about your current role as well. But yeah, so tell me, you did a master's in project management, you were saying?
Actually, I when I was started my job, the I started my job to gain to gain some insight expertise of practical field, like in in what things I am very good in handling the the work. So I got my feedback from my seniors, from my colleagues and my friends that I am good in that side, and in that and I'm good in management side. So I decided to pursue my master's degree, and at that time I think that at that time I was doing quality assurance of the projects in my company. So soon after I completed my master's degree, our CEO, Mr. Zishan Saab, promoted me as a project coordinator. So currently, I am equipped with experience in software, e-commerce project coordination, and management. And like I I believe that I have some leadership or team building or people management skills. So that's why uh, our CEO and other senior management gave me a chance, to work on the management side, like as a project coordinator or closely work with the project manager. So currently, I work closely with other team members such as designers, developers, SEO guys, marketing guys, team leads, quality assurance specialists to ensure that projects are completed on time and they, and meet the needs and of the stakeholders and the clients. So over the years, I have had the opportunity to work on various international projects with well-known brands like Hyundai, Geely, and most of my clients are from Saudi Arabia, Dubai, or UAE region, and their projects include e-commerce websites for online car selling with different payment modes or methods and rent a car as well. Currently, we are working with multiple Saudi corporate firms, including Bulan Group of Companies and Al Jawi Group of Companies. I am also working with our new client from USA on a on a project related to business or sorry on a health sector. So there are multiple projects on which our company is doing, and we have a lot of projects and clients from locally from Pakistan and from other countries as well. But I am telling you only about the projects on which currently I am working on. Uh, if furthermore, if I tell you by the blessings of Almighty Allah and from the hard work of our employees, United Soul has recently registered its corporate offices in USA and Canada, and I think which will be operational in a month or two, I believe, inshallah.
Inshallah, nice. Okay, so to back step a little, so for anyone who does not know, Basim mentioned. So as you mentioned, you did your master's at ComStats, and for the I guess the juniors or those considering going into university, ComStats is one of the top schools for uh, computer science generally and project management and those type of things. So if you're looking at those things, that is one of the better schools in the industry for tech. So I guess let's start with more of a kind of a um, so you mentioned a lot of the projects you're working on, a lot of the big companies. Now, for someone who does not understand or know what project management entails on a day-to-day basis, just generally speaking, how would you explain that to them?
I think as a project coordinator, or or you can say that program manager, uh, my day-to-day tasks or my core responsibilities include like checking emails and messages for any urgent tasks or issues, monitoring project progress, conducting daily scrum meetings with my team members and with my clients as well, creating and maintaining project plans, official documents, proposals, project budgeting, scheduling, and assigning the resources to any project, and getting, normally I used to, most of the time I had meetings with different clients, getting requirements from the client and conducting, kickoff meetings for the new projects, helping the designers, QAs, developers, and other team members in their daily tasks. Because the most of the knowledge for any project I have the most of the knowledge for any project. So normally I act as a bridge between the my teammates and between the client. So the dissemination of information is between these two gets from me. Like I facilitate communication as a bridge between my team and the clients to ensure that everyone is informed about project status or progress, ensuring project quality, maintaining project documentation, monthly reports, the status reports, and and at the end of the month, I do invoices for the work we have done for the clients, and normally, uh, not daily, but normally in my spare time, I normally provide technical vision for and WordPress support and e-commerce website handling, all technical or non-technical related to issues related to mobile app development. And I think that these are the things overall as a project coordinator. I think uh, one should have very strong organizational and communication skills as well as experience with project management methodologies and tools. So the ultimate goal of my job is as a project coordinator is to ensure that projects are completed successfully and to the satisfaction of the stakeholders and clients.
Pakistani developers, are you tired of constantly switching jobs or working on boring websites and WordPress plugins? Do you want to leave a legacy, something that you are proud to contribute to? I have good news for you. Codecast Pakistan is sponsored by Shadow Labs, and Shadow Labs is currently hiring. Shadow Labs is an award-winning tech startup formed in 2010. Shadow Labs is on track to disrupt the global legal industry. The best part is that Shadow Labs has its roots in Pakistan. Shadow Labs is the next Pakistani success story. It's like joining Kareem before it was Kareem. Shadow Labs has strong development and operations teams based out of Pakistan, and we are currently looking for developers across Pakistan. So if you are an HTML developer, Laravel developer, or full stack developer, listen here. We are hiring across senior and mid-level roles. We also provide different hiring options, including full-time and flexible part-time roles. If you want to build something that you're proud of, this is the place for you. If you want to be part of Pakistan's next biggest tech company, this is the place for you. Click the link below and fill out the form. And join the legal technology revolution and contribute to Pakistan's next biggest tech startup. Leave your legacy. Interesting. And one thing that you mentioned I think is so relevant and so important. You were saying how a large part of your job is disseminating information from the client to the technical team, and what we've also my experience as well. Usually, you find the team members on the technical side are not as focused on communication. It's more I need to figure out how to build this project that I'm working on. And anywhere I've worked with tech teams in Pakistan, in Canada, in the U.S. It's always they're more focused on the internal, the focus, and then on the business side, it's let's how do we talk. So your role, you have to have both sides. You need the technical knowledge, right? And then
Yeah,
you need the
technical knowledge
communication.
as well as I have to handle the pressure of the client as well. So it's not because all the communication belongs to me, whether it is with the client or whether it is with my team member. So I have to sometimes it is very easy to make the client understand. If the client is technical, so it is easy for us to make him or her understand that this task or this project will take long due to these reasons. But normally, uh, when the client is not technical, he or she is expecting that this work will be done in an hour or in multiple days, which is not possible. So we have to manage the expectations of the clients and manage the workload balance of our teammates as well. So it's
Yeah. So
sometimes
right.
it becomes very hard to manage the relationship with a good relationship with the client and with the team members.
Definitely, and especially the communication barrier, prioritization, different people bringing different kinds of their own personal stress and the experience all thrown on you. So it is a unique experience. What would you? I guess so. There's a lot of software developers. I've met developers who say that maybe they're mid-career and they say I want to move to more of a project management role, right? But they're having a hard time making that switch for whatever reason. What advice would you have for someone like that?
Can you repeat for switching the
So,
field?
so no. So, for example, let's say there's a software developer who has 5 years of experience, and they've been that's what they've been doing in their career, and now they're thinking, I don't want to do this. I want to be in a project management role. Um, do you have some general advice that you would give to someone in that circumstance?
Yeah, let, let, if a person being a project manager or a project coordinator, the person has to be very patient. Yeah, it requires technical knowledge and technical expertise as well. And if a person who is a web developer or any mobile app developer and who has experience of 2, 3, 4 years, so he or she is a very good candidate for for promoting as a project coordinator, project manager, or something like that. But the main issue is that the main issue is that the I don't think that everyone will be able to do this job because it requires a lot of patience, leadership skills, team management skills, people management skills, and most importantly, how to handle the client. the I don't think that most of the developers have this quality, to shift on this side. Normally, the developers, will be promoted as, team lead, program managers or something like that. But normally they remain on the technical side. But as a project coordinator, it requires a lot of, documentation, a lot of meetings, a lot of communication. So one should have to be very have to follow proactive approach and have to be very patient in in this job, otherwise he or she will not perform well.
Makes sense. Yeah, kind of echoes the point earlier that the personality type that is attracted towards a career in software development is very different from a personality type that would succeed in a project management role, right? But so if someone is looking to make the transition, there's a lot of soft skills that are difficult to build that I would say that you have to focus on that will take a lot of time, and maybe it's possible. That your starting point will be a lot uh, further back because you had to focus on the other side for most of your career. But I wouldn't say it's impossible. I would just say, like Basim said, I would echo what he said. He's had a lot of experience in the field. You need to focus on a lot of those soft skills, and you need to have them at a high level, not even at a moderate level, to be able to succeed in a project management role. And so I guess now let's switch over to United Soul. So you mentioned that you've a lot of the projects you've been working on as well. You've been with United Soul for over 4 years, so obviously you like it there. So tell us about United Soul. Why have you stayed there so long, and what do you like about United Soul?
Uh, Let me introduce about United Soul. Like United Soul is an award-winning software and web development company that specializes in multiple e-commerce platforms and custom web development. And United Soul is a multi-brand organization, and I think it is one of the oldest web design and development companies in Pakistan, Islamabad, Pakistan. So our company was formed with a vision to provide, functional, affordable, and scalable solutions for all kind of business sectors. So overall, working at United Soul may be a good fit for individuals who are passionate about web and software development, mobile apps, and enjoy working in a collaborative environment. And the company offers opportunities for professional growth and career advancement as well, and gives its employees a lot of benefits. But as with any job, there may be any challenges, but the overall work environment at United Soul appears to be uh, positive and rewarding, especially for those who are very dedicated and committed to their work. And if I think that there are multiple things uh, which I like about United Soul, like the culture of the company, listening to everyone's opinions and issues. The environment is very collaborative and it promotes teamwork and communication. Supportive higher management, especially the direct support normally I receive from our CEO, and I really appreciate him in everything he did for the company and for me, and making myself more and more product. So working hours, flexibility, of course, and hybrid work approach. So uh, I think I, there are some, every company has some, pros and cons, but I would like to mention the positive side of the company, and I really enjoy working here. And I think that I would recommend, the younger students who recently graduate from different countries are most welcome in our company, and I think they have a lot of opportunities in the United States, to learn about different technologies.
Okay, and so your main office is in Islamabad, right? The
Yeah,
United Soul office. Okay,
yeah.
and
Main office in
so
Islamabad.
Mhm.
We recently opened, our two corporate offices in US and Canada, but they are not operational yet. They may be operational, I think, in a month or two.
Inshallah. Okay, and
Inshallah.
and I guess so. Are you guys are you said you're currently hiring. Do you have any for any viewers that are looking for jobs? Do you know, or where can they go on the website? I'm guessing, or if you
Yeah,
don't know, it's
I
okay.
think
You can send me a message and I can drop it in the bio after we can add it. So yeah.
yeah, I will send you later on as well, but I would suggest that they have to, search unitedsoul.net, or they can follow on our LinkedIn page as well, and, or, like the local job platforms like Glass or Indeed or other platforms, they Agosi.ck, they can, find different jobs over there.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay. And
because,
I guess.
and they are
Mhm.
most welcome for the walk-in interviews as well. And they can find the address from internet.
Okay. So just Indeed, local platforms, or check out the website unitedsoul.net. I would throw it up there. So I guess just ending off, what would you say? I know we talked about the different that this discussion would be more about your career, about United Soul. I guess forward looking, where do you see your career going? What is Basim looking to achieve in his career? Let's dream a little.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to career goals, it's very important to have a clear idea of what you want, to achieve in your career and how you want to plan to get there. My main focus is to develop management skills as a software project coordinator. I want to develop my project management skills, which will enable me to effectively manage complex projects and ensure their successful delivery. Uh, my ultimate goal is to become product manager or project manager, which is a higher level from my job definition. I would like to further enhance my communication skills, because I think that this is the most important thing, or I can say that this is the essential element of my job. So I would like to expand my obviously my technical knowledge and work on. I would like to work on different diverse sectors projects locally as well as with international clients, and I would like to to increase my knowledge and my work. Sorry, I would like to pursue a PMP or other certification in this regard as well. And I would like to lead more complex, more larger, different projects over time in my career, for my career advancement. And last but not least, I would like to stay up to date with the latest industry trends and latest development technologies, methodologies, and techniques.
Interesting. Yeah. So I mean, I like to ask that question also because then it also gives our viewers, no matter what stage in your career you're in, just kind of an idea of the different path, even beyond where you are right now, right? So your goals are to get to a different level, and someone who maybe is in a similar situation from you is thinking, where can I go from here, right? And they kind of understand, okay, the opportunity is work on bigger projects, work on more exciting things, stay up to date with tech as well, and then just progress your career in that manner. And then one other way too, I've seen we a project manager. I think it was our first episode too. He went from managing a project team to managing in a department, right? So the skills you're building are similar, right? You're leading, you're managing deadlines and projects. You're working towards a large goal by breaking it down into small goals, right? So just because the goal gets bigger does not mean that the skill is completely different. It just requires a larger scale of that skill. So just before we go, so anyone who's interested, United Soul website, unitedsoul.net. So just check out the website, or Indeed or socials to see if there's any jobs available. This podcast is sponsored by Shadow Labs. We are hiring as well. So if you go to our website, you can check out Shadow Labs, and then we are a product company, so we don't work with different clients. We just build our own products. We are currently hiring as well. So if anyone who's watching is looking to looking for a job, Shadow Labs, United Soul, check out Indeed, check out the socials. Thank you, Basim, for joining us. I think it was a great discussion, a lot of
Yeah,
great insights for anyone in
Umar, I
different
would like to,
stages.
I would, yeah. One thing I would like to add here for as a I, as an advice for the new graduates who get their career goals. Like I think the first thing for the new graduates is to define their long term vision for their career, like what they want to achieve, what type of work they enjoy, and what their ideal work life balance looks like. So once they have the clear vision, they have to break down that thing into that their goals into smaller actionable parts, and they which can be achievable. So this will make it easier to track their progress and their status, and they have to seek feedback from different mentors and their colleagues to evaluate themselves that on which on which place they are standing, that and this can help them develop a realistic plan as well. So and new graduates should always find areas for their skill development. Like I would suggest new graduates, once they are studying in their university, they have to do multiple internships while they are studying, and in parallel, if they got a chance, they try to do some freelancing as well, because I think that these things will make them more polished and more practical. And once they get graduated from the university, they have a lot of knowledge, to get into a job. And as a last tip, they have to be, very patient, as building a successful career takes time and more efforts. And I think they don't have to get discouraged if they don't get their dream job right away. So I think that they have to wait for the right opportunity at the right time or right place. So I think that yeah, that's it from my side.
That's great advice. Great advice. And I would say it also applies to people later in their career too, right? Because there's no wrong time to start planning to make those small steps, and then facing these kind of issues
Yeah,
people do at different
because
stages, right?
most of the companies are demanding, like a fresh graduate is coming from for the job, and they are asking for the experience. So the there's a lot of competition in the market, and I think that those students who do internships, in their study or university time, and they like to sit with professional people and do some sort of freelancing or like internship. So they are more practical. They have more knowledge, technical knowledge, as well as professional knowledge. So once they go for an interview, I think that they would be definitely selected instead of those who haven't done any internship or any technical work during their industry time.
Well said. Well, wise words to end the podcast. So, to summarize, focus on practical knowledge, experience, rather than just having read a book, right? So, go out there and build something. Thank you, Basim, for joining us. Thank you to our viewers for joining us. And until next time, we're signing off. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Pakistani developers, are you tired of constantly switching jobs or working on boring websites and WordPress plugins? Do you want to leave a legacy, something that you are proud of? I have good news for you. Codecast Pakistan is sponsored by Shadow Labs, and Shadow Labs is currently hiring. Here are 3 reasons why the best developers across Pakistan are working at Shadow Labs. Number 1, Shadow Labs was formed in 2010 and has received numerous tech disruption awards. Our unique partnerships with major Canadian corporations has positioned us for global success. Number 2, Shadow Labs is a product company that is disrupting the legal industry in Canada. Shadow Labs is on track to change legal services globally. And number 3, Shadow Labs is the next Pakistani success story. It is like joining Kareem before it was Kareem. Shadow Labs has strong development and operation teams based out of Pakistan. And there's good news. We are currently looking for developers across Pakistan. Shadow Labs is currently hiring for a few roles, including HTML developers, Laravel developers, and full stack developers. We are hiring across senior and mid-level roles. We also provide different hiring options, including full-time roles and flexible part-time roles. This is not a website or WordPress development job. We are building 3 unique products that will change the world. If you have big dreams and ambitions, this is the place for you. If you want to build something that you are proud of, this is the place for you. If you want to be part of Pakistan's next biggest tech company, this is the place for you. If you are a senior or mid-level HTML developer, Laravel developer, or full-stack developer, listen here. Whether you want a full-time job or a flexible part-time job, click the link below and fill out the form. Join the legal technology revolution and contribute to Pakistan's next biggest tech startup. Leave your legacy.